night wind howls in the chimney cowls, and the bat in the moonlight flies, and inky clouds like funeral shrouds sails over the midnight skies. When the footpad quail at the night birds wail, and black dogs bay at the moon, then is the spectre's holiday. Then is the ghost high noon. For then is the ghost high noon. Then is the ghost high noon. As the sob of the breeze sweeps over the trees, and the mist lie on the fan, from great tombstones I gather the bones that once were women and men, and away they go with a mop and a mow to the revel that ends too soon. For the cockcrow limits a holiday, the dead of the night's high noon, the dead of the night's high noon, high noon. And then each ghost, with his lady toast, to the churchyard better take flight, with a kiss perhaps on her lantern chaps, and a grisly grim good night, till the welcome knell of the midnight bell brings forth its jolliest tune, and ushers in our next high holiday, the dead of the night high noon, the dead of the night high noon, high noon, the dead of the night high noon.
Recognize you now. You are the picture of Sir Roderic Murgatroyd.
I am.
Tell me, are you considered a good likeness?
Pretty well, flattering.
Because as a work of art you are poor.
I am crude in color, but I've only painted 10 years. In a couple of centuries I shall become an old master, and then you will be sorry you spoke lightly of me.
And may I ask, why have you left your frames?
It is our duty to see that our successors commit their daily crime in a conscientious and workmanlike fashion. It is our duty to remind you that you are evading the conditions under which you are permitted to exist.
Really? I've only been a bad baronet a week, and I've committed a crime punctually every day.
Let us inquire into this. Monday?
Monday was a bank holiday.
True. Tuesday?
On Tuesday, I made a false income tax return.
That's nothing. Nothing at all. Everybody does right.
It's expected of you.
Wednesday?
On Wednesday, I forged a will.
Whose will?
My own.
My good sir, you can't forge your own will.
Can't I, though? I like that. I did. Besides, if a man can't forge his own will, whose will can he forge?
There's something in that.
Yes, it seems reasonable. At first sight it does.
Fallacy somewhere, I fancy.
A man can do what he likes with his own.
I suppose he can.
Well then, he can forge his own will, stupid. On Thursday, I shot a fox.
Hear, hear.
That's better. Pass the fox, I say. Pass the fox. Friday.
On Friday, I forged a check.
Whose check?
Old Adam's.
But old Adam hasn't a banker.
I didn't say I forged his banker. I said I forged his check. On Saturday, I disinherited my only son.
But you haven't got a son.
Well, no, not yet. I disinherited him in advance to save time. You see, by this arrangement, he'll be born already disinherited.
I see, but I don't think you can do that.
My dear sir, If I can't disinherit my own unborn son, whose unborn son can I disinherit?
These arguments sound very well, but I can't help thinking that if they were reduced to the syllogistic form, they wouldn't hold water. Now, quite understand us. We are foggy. But we don't permit our fogginess to be presumed upon, unless you undertake to, well, suppose we say, carry off a lady. Those in favor of his carrying off a lady? Those of contrary opinion? You're never satisfied. Yes, unless you undertake to carry off a lady at once. I don't care what lady. You perish in inconceivable agonies.
Carry off a lady? Certainly not, on any account. Well, I've the greatest respect for ladies, and I wouldn't do anything of the kind for worlds. So if that's all you've got to say, you'd just better go back to your frames.
Very well. Then let the agonies commence.
Stop it! I can't stand it!
Painful, isn't it? It gets worse by degrees.
Stop it! Stop it, will you? I want to speak!
Better.
Better, yes. Whew.
Do you consent to carry off a lady?
But it's such an ungentlemanly thing to do.
As you please.
Stop! I can't stand it! I promise! I agree! It shall be done!
At once?
At once!
Today?
Today! I retract! I apologize! I had no idea it was anything like that.
He answers to our call. We do not ask for more. A sturdy fellow after all this latest Ruddygore. A sturdy fellow after all this latest Ruddygore. Or perish in a meadow, dare our wills defy. We want your pardon ere we go. We want your pardon ere we go for having agonized you so. So pardon us, so pardon us, so pardon us, or die.
I pardon you. I pardon you.
Pardon us, he pardon us, he pardon us, oh no!
It won't do. I've just seen them. All of my ancestors. They're just gone. They say I have to do something desperate at once or perish in horrible agonies. Go! Go to yonder village. Carry off a maiden. Bring her here at once. Anyone, I don't care which.
But I don't understand.
Not a word but obey. Fly! go wearing remorse, compunction hence, go moral force, go penitence. To virtue's plea a long farewell. Propriety, I ring your knell. Come, guiltiness of deadliest hue. Come, desperate deeds of daring do. Henceforth all the crimes that I find in the times I promise to perpetrate daily. Tomorrow I start with a petrified heart on a regular course of Old Bailey. There's confidence tricking, bad coin pocket picking, and several other disgraces. There's postage stamp prigging and then thimble rigging, the three-card illusion at races. Oh, a baroness rank is exceedingly nice, but the title's uncommonly dear at the price. Ye well-to-do squires who live in the shires where petty distinctions are vital, who found athenaeums and local museums with dues to a baronet's title. Ye butchers and bakers and candlestick makers who sneer at all things that are trading, whose middle-class lives are embarrassed by wives who long to parade as milady. Allow me to offer a word of advice. The title's uncommonly dear at the price. Ye government fees who go down on your knees, your precious identity sinking, who vote black or white as your leaders indict, which saves you the trouble of thinking. For your country's good name, her repute or her shame, you don't care the snuff of a candle, but you'll pay for your game when you find that your name will be graced by a baronet's handle. Oh, allow me to give you a word of advice. The title's uncommonly dear at the price.
Was a very abandoned person,
making the most of evil chances.
Nobody could conceive a worsen,
even in all the old romances.
I blush at my wild extravagances, but be so kind to bear in mind
we were the victims of circumstances. That is one of our blameless dances. I was once an exceedingly odd young lady,
suffering much from spleen and vapors.
Clergymen thought my conduct shady.
She didn't spend much upon linen drapers.
It certainly entertained the gapers. My ways were strange beyond all range.
Paragraphs got into all the papers. We only cut respectable capers. I've given up all my wild proceedings.
My taste for a wandering life is waning.
Now I'm a dab at penny readings.
They are not remarkably entertaining.
A modest livelihood we're gaining.
In fact, we rule a Sunday school.
The duties are dull, but we're not complaining. This sort of thing takes a deal of training. We have been married a week.
One happy week.
Our new life
is delightful indeed.
So calm.
So unimpassioned. Oh, Master, all this I owe to you. Look, I am no longer wild and untidy. My face is washed, my hair is combed. I'm wearing shoes.
Margaret, don't! Pray restrain yourself. Remember, you are now a district visitor.
Oh, a gentle district visitor.
You are orderly, methodical, neat. You have your emotions well under control.
I have. Oh, Master, when I think of all you've done for me, I fall at your feet, I embrace your ankles, I hug your knees.
Hush! This is not well. This is calculated to provoke remark. Margaret, don't!
Oh, you're angry with poor little Mad Margaret.
No, not angry. But a district visitor should learn to eschew melodrama. Visit the poor by all means and give them tea and barley water. But don't do it as if you're administering them a bowl of deadly nightshade. It upsets them. And when you nurse sick people and find them not as well as to be expected, why go into hysterics?
Why not?
Because it's too jumpy for a sick room.
How strange. Oh, Master, when I think of the all-absorbing...
No!
I know, dear. It shan't occur again. Shall I tell you one of poor Mad Margaret's odd thoughts? Well then, when I lie awake at night, and the pale moonlight streams through the latticed casement, strange fancies begin to crowd my poor mad brain, and I sometimes think if we were to hit upon a word that you were to use whenever I'm about to relapse, some word teemed with hidden meaning like Basingstoke. It might recall me to my saner self, for after all, I'm just poor Mad Margaret, crazy pig, mermaid.
Poor child, she wanders. But stop! Someone comes. Margaret, pray recollect yourself. Basingstoke! Margaret, if you don't Basingstoke at once, I shall be seriously angry.
Basingstoke it is.
Then make it so.
Despard and his young wife. Well, this visit is unexpected.
Shall I fly at him? Shall I tear him limb from limb? Shall I rend him asunder? Say but the word!
Basingstoke!
Basingstoke it is.
Then make it so. My brother, I call you brother still, despite your horrible profligacy. We have come to urge you to abandon the evil course to which you have committed yourself.
That's all very well, but you seem to forget that the day I reform, I perish in excruciating torment.
Better that than pursue a course of lifelong villainy.
You didn't seem to be of that opinion when you were a bad baronet.
No, because I had no good brother at my elbow to check me when about to go wrong.
But I've done no wrong yet.
Done no wrong? He's done no wrong. Did you hear
that? Basingstoke!
Basingstoke it is.
My brother. I still call you brother, you observe. You forget that you have been, in the eye of the law, a bad baronet of Ruddygore for 10 years, and therefore responsible, in the eye of the law, for all the misdeeds committed by the unfortunate gentleman who occupied your place.
Meaning you?
Meaning me!
I see. Bless my heart, I hadn't thought of that. Was I very bad?
Awful, wasn't he?
And I've been going on like this for how long?
10 years. Think of the atrocities you have committed, by attorney as it were, during that period. Remember how you trifled with this poor child's affections. How you raised her hopes on high. Don't cry, my love, Basingstoke, you know. Only to trample them in the dust. Fie, sir, she trusted you!
Meaning you!
Oh, nothing of the kind, sir. I was simply acting as your representative.
Well, meaning us, then. What a scoundrel I must have been. There, my dear. Don't cry. It's all right now. Birmingham, you know. Birmingham.
It's Basingstoke.
Basingstoke. Of course it is. Basingstoke.
Then make it so.
There. It's all right. He's married you now. That is, I've married you now. I say, which one of us is married?
Oh, I've married her. Oh, I'm glad for that.
Yes, he's married you now. And anything more disreputable than my conduct has been, I haven't even heard of. But my mind is made up. I will defy my ancestors. I will refuse to obey their behests, and thus, by courting death, atone in some degree for the infamy of my career.
Oh, bless you! Bless you!
Basingstoke!
Basingstoke it is.
My eyes are fully open to my awful situation. I shall go at once to Roderic and make him an oration. I shall tell him I've recovered my forgotten mortal senses, and I don't get tuppence halfpenny for any consequences. Now I do not wish to perish by the sword or by the dagger, but a martyr may indulge a little pardonable swagger, and a word or two of compliment my vanity would flutter. But I've got to die tomorrow, so it really doesn't matter.
No, it really doesn't matter.
So it really doesn't matter.
No, it really doesn't matter.
So it really doesn't matter.
So it really doesn't matter.
No, it really doesn't matter.
So it really doesn't matter.
If I were not a little mad and generally silly, I would give you my advice upon the subject willy-nilly. Show you in a moment how to grapple with the question and really be astonished at the force of my suggestion. Subject, I shall write you a most valuable letter full of excellent suggestions when I feel a little better. But at present, I'm afraid that I'm as mad as any hatter, so I'll keep it to myself on my opinion doesn't matter.
Her opinion doesn't matter.
Her opinion doesn't matter.
Her opinion doesn't matter.
Her opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion doesn't matter.
Her opinion doesn't matter. Her opinion doesn't matter. If I had been so lucky as to have a steady brother who could talk to me as we are talking now to one another, who could give me good advice when he discovered I was erring, which is just a sort of favor on which you I am conferring. My existence might have made a very interesting idyll, and I might have lived and died a very decent individual. This particularly rapid, unintelligible patter isn't generally heard, and if it is, it doesn't matter.
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 This particularly rapid, unintelligible patter isn't generally heard, and if it is, it doesn't matter. This particularly rapid, unintelligible patter isn't generally heard, and if it is, it doesn't matter.
The deed is done.
What deed?
She is here, alone, unprotected. Who? The maiden. I've carried her off.
The maiden?
The maiden. I carried her off. I fought like a... She fought like a tiger cat.
Great heaven, I had forgotten her. I had hoped to have died unsported by crime, but I am foiled again, and by a tiger cat. Produce her and leave us. Dame Hannah? This is not what I expected.
Well, sir. And what would you with me? Oh, you have begun bravely, bravely indeed, sir. Unappalled, by the calm dignity of blameless womanhood, your minion has torn me from my spotless home and dragged me blindfold and shrieking through hedges, over stiles, and across a very difficult country, and left me here, helpless and trembling at your mercy. Yet not helpless, coward sir, for approach one step, nay, but the 20th part of 1 poor inch, and this poniard shall teach you what it is to lay unholy hands on old Stephen Trusty's daughter.
Madam, I am extremely sorry for this. This is not at all what I intended. Anything more correct, more deeply respectful than my intentions toward you, it will be impossible for anyone, however particular, to desire.
But I am not to be tricked by smooth words, hypocrite, but be warned in time, for there are without 100 gallant hearts whose trusty blades would hack him limb from limb, who dare to lay unholy hands on old Stephen Trusty's daughter.
And this is what it is to embark upon a career of unlicensed pleasure?
Hark ye, miscreant, you have secured me, and I am your poor prisoner. But if you think that I cannot take care of myself, then you are very much mistaken. Now then, it's 1 to 1, and let the best man win.
Don't look at me like that. I can't bear it. Oh, man. Roderic! Uncle! Save me!
What is the matter? Have you carried her off?
I have. She's there. Look at her. She terrifies me.
Little nanny kid.
Roddy! Daddy! Oh.
My own love. How came you here?
This brute! He carried me off bodily, but I'll show him.
Stop it! What do you mean by carrying off this lady? Are you aware that once upon a time she was engaged to be married to me? I'm very angry indeed.
Now, I hope this will be a lesson to you in the future, not to encourage...
Hold your tongue, sir.
Yes, Uncle.
Have you given him any encouragement?
Have I given you any encouragement? Frankly now, have I?
No. Frankly, you have not. Anything more scrupulously correct than your conduct has been, it would be impossible to desire.
You. Go away.
Yes, Uncle.
This is a very strange meeting after so many years.
Very. I thought you were dead.
I am. I died 10 years ago.
And are you pretty comfortable?
Pretty well. That is, yes, pretty well.
You don't deserve to be. For I loved you all the while, dear. And it made me dreadfully unhappy to hear of all your goings-on. You bad, bad boy. There grew a little flower 'neath a great oak tree. When the tempest began to lower, little heeded she. No need had she to cower, for she dreaded not its power. She was happy in the bower of her great oak tree. Sing hey, like a day. Sing hey, like a day, let the tears fall free. For the pretty little flower and her great oak tree. Sing hey, like a day. Sing hey, like a day. Sing hey, like a day, let the tears fall free. For the pretty little flower was that great oak tree. She was in a pretty pickle, as she well might be. But his gallantries were mickle, for death followed with his sickle, and the tears began to trickle for that great oak tree. Sing hey, like a day. Sing hey, like a day, let the tears fall free for the pretty little flower and her great oak tree. Sing hey, like a day. Sing hey, like a day. Sing hey, like a day, let the tears fall free for the pretty little flower and her great oak tree. Said she, he never loved me, did that great oak tree, for I'm neither rich nor pretty, and so why should he? But though fate our fortune sever, to be constant I'll endeavor, I forever and forever to that great oak tree sing hey, like a day.